Well, hello there.
Hi, everybody.
Ah, look at her. Her
Hi.
voice is
Look,
back. It's no longer. Hi.
Yeah, plus I've got, green screen
Yes.
background, new mic,
Yes,
webcam.
it's-
I'm more
yes.
fancy looking now.
You are fancy looking.
Actually,
Beautiful.
this was a Christmas present from my parents, but the webcam wasn't.
Webcam was a present for yourself.
Yeah, I bought that for me.
There you go. I had a webcam as a Christmas present and birthday present, of course, because we like those combos. You can see the... And then I had a wonderful gift from our friend, Mr. Robot Ninja Shark, and it's actually a new ring light. So it's excellent.
Lovely.
I have new stands, so I am more professional, and I got this for Christmas and my birthday from him, and this way I can record my drawings, which one of them is right behind me. Wait, where am I going?
It's self-promo day.
It's a promo day. It
What for you?
happens.
I have nothing to
Yes.
promo. I'm going to be honest.
You promo yourself.
I'm promoting The Leftovers, which is my favorite show
And
of all time.
And that one as well. Although, for some reason, I haven't listened back to our episode, but for some reason I feel like you didn't say that The Leftovers were your number one favorite show on the top 5
I did.
TV show. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
For some reason, something else pops in, but I don't know why.
I can go over them right now. I think it did Doctor Who, Umbrella Academy, Graceland, The Hour, Leftovers. I may have swapped Graceland and The Hour around, but I think it was that way around.
Interesting. I don't remember. My memory is flooded and...
Also, anybody who hasn't listened to the
Weird.
episode no longer needs to listen to it for my part. They should listen
Mine
to
is
it for
still
your
a
parts
mystery.
instead.
Yes. Yes, mine is still a mystery, so you can go in and listen to what are my top 5 favorite TV shows. So, here we are.
Oh yeah, I
This
should probably
is-
do the intro, shouldn't I?
Yes, this is season 2 now.
Okay.
I just want to point it out.
I don't have anything new for the intro, so it's going to be the exact same. Hi everybody.
Fair.
Welcome to all the films we judged before. I am Katie, and that is lovely Lily Kay.
Not Troy Baker.
No, yeah.
No. And that's lovely Katie. Wait, where are you? There you
Well,
are, there.
I'm on this side for me. So.
Yes, and you are on this side for me. Wait, oh my god! One of my hand disappeared! No! Oh my god! Okay, this is old.
Wait.
Oh yes, your trick.
My invisible.
There you go. The invisible cup. We are. There you go. Look at that.
If it was oh man, if it was if it was Mountain Dew, I could talk about there being invisible gamer juice.
There you go. But it's
That's
not
a very
Mountain Dew.
specific reference for people who watch any of Polygon's coverage of E3 back in 2018.
True that. So we
Yes,
we
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
No, I don't. But I still love you, so I'm sure
That's all right.
it's funny. So we are entering a new era because guess what, guys? We are actually it's a test for us as well, and it's gonna be a test for you because our episodes are gonna get a bit shorter, and today we are testing if we are able to do it without.
No, I
Without
forgot that we were
editing.
doing this. Hang on, what are we doing? Oh, okay.
I told you, I saw your face. I was like, she forgot.
Yeah, I didn't remember that we had decided to definitely try. Okay, yeah, no, I think this is, in which case, I think this is the perfect topic for it.
I think so too. I mean, I can talk for hours about it, but it's gonna be a test for me and for you. If we can stop at 1 hour, we just like to talk, guys. It's not a sin, okay? But apparently, if it's a longer episode than 1 hour, people have a hard time following up. It's true. You know, for me, if I listen to podcasts, unless I'm drawing, I usually turn it off after a while because
God.
Katie is having technical
I
difficulties.
was like, maybe I can get rid of this thing if I try and move it, and it did not work. It made everything worse. No, it's just gonna. Just pretend my head.
Just
cover it.
sit. It's okay.
I'll figure it out at some
still-
point. This is technical difficulties day.
It is. It's fine. It's testing technical difficulties and whatnot. Welcome to season 2, guys. This is Okay, actually, do you know, Katie, that this is our 10th episode releasing on
Oh, wow.
Relator?
Look at us go.
There you go. We are getting there, guys. We are so cool, so fantastic that I should
Getting where?
I don't know. Somewhere,
To
Katie,
the
somewhere.
realm of professionality.
I mean, I'm sorry, but our equipment is getting better and better. I'm just... Come on, be optimistic.
I'm perfectly happy with everything we've done so far. So.
There you go. There you go. We are going on higher places. So just to keep it in time, what did you watch last week?
Oh
my
my
dear
god,
friend?
okay, because last week was kind of Christmas week.
It was.
I didn't watch anything Christmas related. That's not true. I did watch a couple of West Wing Christmas episodes. Just for
Oh
the,
my god.
I was actually
I'm not even surprised anymore.
no, but I actually no because they did the podcast West Wing Weekly did a little like live watch along with the hosts
Yes.
where they watched In Excelsis Deo and Noel. So that was maybe the third time I'd seen both of those episodes in a very short period. But it was like 2 a.m, and I was up, and I went to bed at like 4:30. Like this was a great idea. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, I watched 2020's pandemic movie Songbird.
Oh no.
And guess what, you guys? It's really bad.
We're not surprised.
Nope.
At least I'm not surprised. I
No,
don't know about our listeners.
I haven't actively really stopped thinking about it since I watched it. Because it's like, there's so much happening that happens in it. And if you're at all curious, I'm going to make sure that this goes in the description. I did a thread of me
Yes.
as I was watching it. And I tweeted the whole thing.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And it was quite the experience. And I went back and read through it again, and I realised that there were a lot of typos because I was typing so quickly.
You didn't react to my awesome joke in there.
Oh, did I not?
No, I left you a really good joke.
I didn't think I
it was
saw
funny.
it.
Oh no!
I'm gonna have
Because
to
you
go
wrote out
looking
that
for
you are still thinking about the soldier that disappeared, and I wrote that now I can admit that it was me. I kidnapped him. I think I'm hilarious also.
Very good. But you
Thank
can't.
you.
I cannot actually stress enough how little time that this guy was in this movie. Right? There's a guy. He turns up for maybe a minute and a half, and his sole purpose is to save the protagonist, and then decide not to leave the building.
I kidnapped him. That's it. That's the essence.
It's like a less than 2 minute sequence, and he's just gone. He's introduced and gone within 2 minutes.
Maybe he was like one of those things that lately a lot of productions do. That I don't know. They have a special prize if you pay a big amount of money on Omegle
I'm
or
pretty
something
sure that
like
this
that.
guy
And then-
is. I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy was just an actor, and the script was just that bad.
Ah, gotcha. Well, it's a possibility with this movie.
Well, I think it's a
Anything can
probability.
True. I only read your description of it, and it was enough. I'm not gonna watch it.
No, I watched it so other people wouldn't have to.
Great, you sacrificed
I
yourself.
did. I sacrificed
for this
myself.
goes.
But I sat down and was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I ended up streaming like little bits of the movie just to show him some of the worst parts. I was like, literally, I need you to see this guy. He's not in this movie for longer than like 2 minutes, and it's like 40 minutes into the movie.
Well, he was a hero, an unsung hero. Beautiful, such a good movie. I don't know what's the problem with it. Oh well, it is what it is.
It is what it
I
is.
guess.
But you know,
guess.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still kind of glad I watched it because now I have all of these opinions about it.
There you go. Anything else you watched
I've just
that's
been
worth
watching.
mentioning?
I've just been watching The Mentalist again because I got that for Christmas.
Oh yes.
So I've been
yes.
kind of putting on a couple episodes. If I'm bored in the morning, I kind of stick a couple on my TV, and it's been nice to kind of go through. I forgot how fascinating of a character I find Patrick Jane. He's very nuanced and complicated, and I very much enjoy watching it. But it is so sort of like, this is a crime show, and I'm like, yeah, this is fun.
A crime show can be fun.
Like the difference, like it's still good, but now that I've watched how good The West Wing was, going back to like things that are just normal good, it's kind of like it's like things can't compare anymore. Which is why I should probably go and watch the Newsroom next, because then I could go back to Sorkin's writing.
I mean,
That's
you
my
could do
plan.
that.
Because I got that for Christmas as well.
Yes, but I just want to remind you that you still have to watch the new Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh yeah, I could probably do that over the course of a couple of days. We have 2 of them. I probably have to go find the 3rd one, something like that.
Yes, please.
We have 2 of them on DVD, so I have them.
Because once you do, we have to talk about it. I'm just saying, if we're gonna talk about the West Wing as we are planning
always,
it,
yeah.
then I need my Planet of the Apes
Absolutely.
episode. What did I watch? I was catching up on a few things that I wanted to watch. I watched Sweet Dreams. No, not Sweet Dreams. White Dreams. I don't know. My head just stopped working at some point, and it's fine. Sweet Home.
Okay.
That's a longer sentence than it needed to be.
What's Sweet Home?
It's a new Korean series. What a surprise! Lily's watching something Korean again, and it's a very, very good one. I'm just gonna put it out there that the CGI is not the greatest that you're gonna ever see, but it works for a TV series. For me, it completely worked. The story is very, very interesting, and it's very. It's very touching at points. Like I was finding myself sobbing at certain points and levels, and I loved how they built up the characters. So I am now waiting Netflix, please announce season 2. And then I watched Alice in Borderland, which was something that I was waiting for.
Because I watched the trailer for that by accident, and I was like, this looks really interesting.
Whew, it is. It's something else. It's on another level, and it starts off like almost right away. Like you have like a 15-minute introduction to the characters and stuff like that, and then you're right in. Like they are not messing around. They are like, okay, now it's starting, and you're like, oh my god, what the hell happened? And you are just as confused as those poor characters, who are all very, very well written, and I just can't stress this enough that they are very good characters. And we got to the end, and then I was really sad. I was like, oh my god, if they're not gonna pick this up. And literally, I think 5 days later, you sent me that Alice in Borderland season 2 is coming, and I was like, well, that was quick.
Well, clearly it did well, because that was a very quick pickup. Even
very,
the Umbrella
very quick.
Academy, which was one of their biggest shows of 2020, took like 3 or 4 months to get officially picked up, and I was like, that was a painful couple of months. I knew it was going to happen, but it was the waiting that was difficult.
Yeah. This was just like literally 5 or 6 days later after they introduced the first season, and I was like, okay, I'm all nice and calm now. We're all good.
Relax.
Relaxed. So that's a really good one. And then I started West Wing, so we can get to actually talking about it, because I did watch it when it originally aired. It was one of my favorite things ever. But I haven't seen it since, so it's good to go back. I like it. And then I catched up on The Good Doctor, which is something that I really like.
We had a great conversation about Richard Schiff playing video games.
Yes! Come on! Yes!
Absolutely adore the man.
So cute. It was such a cute scene in there. I was like, you can't get any better. You can't get any better than this, honestly.
Nope.
Yeah, and that's it. I still have so many things to catch up on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I have like 4.5 episodes of Critical Role to catch up on, which, if you know Critical Role, those are 4-hour episodes. So I've got so many hours of Critical Role to catch up on, but I don't want to get into it until I've finished the West Wing Weekly, which has kind of been the thing I've been putting on to listen to as I've been doing other things. And I'm so close. I've just finished season 5. Well, I'm on the last episode of season 5 within the, watch along. And I'm bracing myself to force my way into season 6, because I didn't like season 6. But I'm not watching the show with it. I'm just listening to the episodes, and I can play Red Dead as I'm listening to them, and then eventually I'll be able to get back to watching Critical Role.
There you go. It's all a plan. It's all about planning it out.
I'm also thinking about watching The Handmaid's Tale at some point. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it really, really slowly. By which I mean like an episode a day. because it's like heavy, and I don't want to do what I do with stuff all the time and completely binge the whole thing, because I think that may be detrimental to my mental health.
Yes. If you read, did you read the books?
I haven't read the books, no. But I know
Okay.
a lot. I have seen clips and stuff from the show, and I know, what it's about and everything. And I know that is why I know I should take my time with it and kind of let myself process it.
I'm not gonna lie. I read the books and I was like, I'm not sure if I want to see this as a TV series.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because even the book is like, okay.
Yeah. But I'm just so fascinated with everything that Elizabeth Moss has been doing, and like, because she's clearly such a champion for the whole thing.
Yes.
It's her show, and people talk about it with such like reverence, and I'm like, I think I gotta get on this, but I have to do it properly,
Yeah, I have one show that it's the same. It's The Expanse, and
my mother's gonna be thrilled.
I love your mom. I finally met her mom, Matt, through Zoom.
Yeah.
And she's awesome, guys. She's awesome. I love you, Katie's mom.
I love you, mom.
And it's something that I read all the books. It's many books. Also, I want to point out that please, can we just have a book where it's just one book and that's it?
No, it's sci-fi. You have to have 7.
No, leave me alone. I don't have this much money. And I was always thinking about it, that I should probably watch it, but then at one point it got cancelled, and then it got picked up again, and now it's like living in a golden era where it's the best thing ever. At least that's what everyone says. So I'm like, I should really just go for it and watch it. So I am actually thinking about getting my Prime membership back and just start watching it.
I have heard very good things about The Expanse from my parents, who both watch it.
There you go. The books are amazing. I know all that much. I really like the books, even though I was like, oh, please, can you just stop writing them? I don't have this much money. But they are excellent books. So I might get into that, but I'm afraid of the same thing as you are, that if I get obsessed, I'm just going to binge it. And that's probably with 5 seasons, and I think like 60
but here's the thing
or
with
something
The Expanse,
like that.
I don't think that's as bad of a thing to binge, I think it's probably more of a fun world to inhabit.
Yeah, but I should draw, Katie.
Yeah, well, that is true.
I have other comments.
I'm still thinking about your mental health.
That's true as well. Like, Handmaid's Tale probably not, but The Expanse.
I think you could probably do The Expanse pretty easily.
Probably, yeah. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm still sitting on it. I have so many books waiting for me as well. I should translate my novel that I'm writing, and then there's just too many things. So my head will probably blow up. Not enough time. We need longer days or something like that. Or I should just not sleep.
No, you should definitely sleep, because then you won't be able to do all the things that you want to do.
True. I don't know. Then there's no solution, and it's all fucked. Oh well. Whatever.
Yeah.
I also watched, which wasn't mentioned because it was a Patreon solely thing, but I did watch Soul, and I did watch Wonder Woman 84 as well. And I will just quickly say, because then we have to get into our topic, that Soul is fucking amazing. We did mention that. Can you please just not turn your people of color main characters into something every single time that you do an animated movie? Just just it's
let
okay. So just let them be, just as they are. Please, thank you. And I am disappointed in Wonder Woman. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put it out there. And Rick Werty, my friend, is agreeing with me. So I'm happily admit that I didn't like it. I thought about it ever since we talked about it, and no.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the main reaction to it that I have seen most of the time. I've seen a few people who enjoyed it, who were just like, it was a fun movie. But the people whose movie opinions I quite respect and sort of tend to agree with did not enjoy it.
No.
And that is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. Because I really can't even say that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the beginning. I really enjoyed the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, we're off to a good start, and then. So yeah, I'm sorry. next time.
Don't
Because they
apologise
already
for having
announced
an
that
opinion.
they... Yeah, but, some people already, came at me and were like, how can you not like Wonder Woman? And I'm like, sorry, it's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Like, you can like it. It's not like, it's only one way or another.
That being
But
said, if you watch Songbird and you come to me and you tell me that you think it's a good movie, I may judge you.
yes,
That's my PSA.
that's a possibility. It's, when a movie is bad, and it's universally bad,
It's not good.
it's not good. It's probably, oh, well. But today, we are talking about something very exciting that I've been waiting for a little while now. And we're going to discuss, what do we think, who is the greatest villain ever created for TV or movies? So good.
Yeah?
So good.
I don't have any major opinions on this, so I kind of want to hear what you have to say more than anything else.
Okay. So first and foremost, it's this guy behind me. And I know that he wasn't originally created for TV and film, but he became a big, big, big element in some of the best Batman adaptations. Let's just put it like this. Like, come on, The Dark Knight, with Heath Ledger's fantastic performance as the Joker, is still on top of every list that Khan's superhero
pretty
movies.
much.
Amazing. And then we have the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, which is basically just about him and how he became the Joker. And as with every Joker has a different story.
Hence the bunny ears that I just did.
Yep, and then Jack Nicholson's Joker is also someone worth
Campy and
mentioning
fun.
100%. Yep. And then we have so many adaptations of the Joker, and I gotta put it out there. I am yet to see a badly written or badly done Joker, where I'm like, cringing a little bit. I would say that even in the video games, one of my favorite ones is definitely Mark Hamill in
Obviously.
the Arkham. Come on.
It's Mark Hamill. He kind of
It's
is
Mark-
the Joker.
Yeah.
Like everybody, if you kind of classic Joker that's just Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
When you think of the way he is in Killing Joke and that kind of
Oh my God.
iteration of the Joker as a character, that's just Mark Hamill. You can't think
Yeah.
of anybody else.
Nope. No, that's him. That's completely him. And I love that in the Flash TV series, he was the trickster, and you could just clearly tell that he took everything from his Joker and just nicely incorporated in his trickster. And I was like, I just love this man. I just love him. He's awesome. Done. But also, I'm gonna protect Jared Leto's Joker as well, because I truly believe that if we would have got the original cut that David Ayer was planning to release, we would have a completely different Joker than we have now. Because to be fair, in this version of Suicide Squad, there's not really any point to him being in there. And he did say that he has actually more than an hour long, scenes that are just laying on the floor, on the cutting floor. And he just got cut out of the movie, basically. And I don't know why, or that why was the Joker necessary in there in the first place? Just because of Harley, I guess. But then, I don't know. It was just so confusing. I think he would have done so much better if he would have seen more from what he was doing. But oh well, he's not that liked, I guess. I didn't mind him, to be honest. I could see the potential in there. A little bit of, a very different Joker from what we are used to, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that was probably the intention as well. To go so far in the other sort of direction, to be like, here's something entirely new. I haven't seen it. I remember thinking I appreciated the attempt to make something more out of, or something different out of him from the trailer. But that is about as far as my opinion goes. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the way that his behavior on the set with everybody sending like
Oh, yeah. Prob-
just the
Probably
stuff
not.
that he was sending, and it was like, that's just now you're just being
It's
a
a
dick.
Yes, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
A tiny bit too much. But he was. I think Jared Leto was always a weird one, a weird guy. I would say. I always loved him, but
It's
you
like,
know,
you can do your method acting, but you need to also understand that there are boundaries.
yes.
And
I
if your
think that's what
behavior is
he.
impacting everybody else, then you're just being an asshole and you need to sort your shit out.
Yep. Yep.
And
I
that's
don't
the
think
fact.
he understands that, but you know, oh well. I'm
C'est
forgiving
la
with
vie.
Jared. I'm forgiving with him. I like him. I like his music. I love 30 Seconds to Mars. I love what he's doing as an actor. I still think that he was amazing in Dallas Buyers Club, and he deserved that Oscar and every other thing that he got in there. Just as Matthew McConaughey. I love those two together. And I am quite excited because his new movie is actually Denzel Washington and Rami Malek
Lovely,
coming
Rami
out
Malek.
at the end of this month, and I just
What is
can't
it?
wait. It's called The Little Things, and it's about a serial killer.
Oh,
And
fun.
it's it's a twisted one. It's a twisted one. The trailer is very very good, and I honestly cannot wait these three in the same movie because I just need to see it. That's it. Easy as that. You need to bring it in. Just come on. So yeah, I think if I would have to rank my favorite villains, Joker is easily number one. Like, he's always so different, no matter where he appears. And they actually just released a comic book called The Three Jokers, where all these different personalities of his are just coming together in three completely different Jokers. And I didn't read it yet, but I heard like really mixed reviews on it. But I think it shows that this is a character that even if you change him in major plots, he's still gonna be the same. He's still gonna be Joker. He's just so iconic as the Joker that, you know, he's the madman who is a lot of times probably right about things,
He's the
which
crown
is
prince of crime.
yes, he's awesome. I've often cosplay him. It's one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, it's Joker for me. And then I would say that on the second place is someone that you're not gonna know just yet, but once you watch the movie, I think you're gonna agree with me. It's
Right.
Koba from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
And you know, oh my god, that I cannot say it. God damn it, you haven't seen it. I can't say why. He was part of one of the greatest twists in filmmaking because I would recommend to you, especially because you haven't watched it yet, that before you watch the movie itself, watch the first trailer that they released.
Interesting. Okay.
I would suggest that, and then, you know, and then just go in there and watch it, and I think you're gonna understand why I say that it's like what the fuck.
Okay, but do I now have too much information from the fact that you have told me that this person is a villain, but you've also told
No.
me to watch? Okay, good to know.
No. No, you're gonna be like, oh, they were very very smart with that character, and even though I hated his guts, I cannot. I have to admit, he is fucking awesome. He's a fucking awesome character at the end of the day, because, you know, I hated his guts, so therefore he served his
Yeah,
purpose.
I think that works very well.
Yes. And then I would say that my third one is I have to think about this a little bit, but yes,
Okay.
I will roll with it. It's gonna be Darth Vader. I'm
I
gonna
mean-
roll with him.
You kind of can't get more classic than that, really, can you?
Yeah, I was only thinking about it because there are honestly so many very well written villain characters out there, especially now with new things coming in as well. That it's hard to choose. I'm gonna say that I had difficulty choosing who should I name as the best villains. But I think I will roll with Darth Vader because he especially with the prequels rolling in and everything, we now know so many layers to his character that he's not just a very good villain. He's also someone who was in a way relatable, I guess.
Yeah, he's complicated and layered and all that.
Yeah,
etc. etc. etc.
and he's like me and my brother always say that let's be honest, one of the best entrances in any movie is Darth Vader's.
This is true.
Like, come on, he's just so cool. And whenever he appears, you just know that shit's about to go down. Like it's that he's that kind of villain, and I like his layers, and I like how he was written, and how
sorry, I had layers and suddenly thought about onions.
Oh yes, yes. Our friends, the onions and Trek, I for example, I really appreciated that he's turned back, and that the way he was convincible that his way is not the right way was believable at the end of Star Wars. It was believable. It wasn't like, I don't think I can believe this because he's the bad guy, and then why would he turn? Blah blah blah. It was actually something that you were like, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my top three. If I have to just put them in like a box, and I am funny because I went like 1, 2, 3 instead of doing the big anticipation.
Yeah, I think we're fine. I don't have a list, so because I've literally I've googled myself a list of villains,
okay,
so I could get a better idea. I have one, and I know you don't agree with me on this one.
Oh no!
But I'm gonna put it forward anyway because I actually think she's fascinating, and I love what they did with her. But it's Amy Dunn in Gone Girl. And I know you don't agree, but I think the fact that she is so sort of smart and terrifying is the point, and it's meant to be a bit campy and over the top, and the fact that you're kind of like, okay, but she's kind of everywhere, and it really should make sense. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of the point. She's like a proper, like, cartoonish villain in ways, and I love that. Like, I don't think you get that with women as villains in movies very often, and I think that's great, and that's why I like her as a villain so much. Like, she's awful. Like, that's the whole point. She's completely terrible. And oh man, I just think she's. I think shit. What's her name? Fuck.
Oh, the actress.
Yeah. Rosalind. Rosamund,
yes.
Rosamund Pike.
Yes.
My brain was going Rosario, and I was like, no, that's a different person.
That's a different person.
Rosamund Pike does an excellent job with her in the movie. I know that you think that she's completely unbelievable and the whole story doesn't make any fucking sense and all that sort of stuff. But I think that that's the point, and I think that it's meant to be super over the top and kind of like this would never happen in real life sort of thing, because it's in that sort of vein of crime sort of novels. Like she's kind of cartoonish and campy as a villain because she's so on everything.
I don't appreciate that at all.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's and funnily enough, that was one of our first conversations where you went like, "What? You don't like?" I was like, "Nope."
You don't like Gal Gadot. I'm like, "That's nope. Fair. Okay, I can respect that." But I really love that movie very much, and I really liked the book, and I studied it quite extensively because I did it for one of my A-level pieces of coursework. I compared it to another, like an older crime novel called The Big Sleep, which was made into a movie in the 40s and all that sort of stuff. Because I was looking at it in terms of like femme fatale sort of characters, and she's not. And it's the fact that I was comparing the sort of femme fatale character in The Big Sleep to Amy Dunn, who is actively the sort of like very capable villain compared to these women who are just like, oh, I'm kind of sexy and also I killed a man. That's kind of, you know what they're like.
Yes, I like that description.
Thank you. There is a capableness to, that's not a word, but I'm going to keep it anyway. There's capability fuck it,
Yeah.
to Amy Dunn, which makes her sort of more interesting to me than to like most other kind of femme fatale characters. I think she's more than I think she's actively just like a kind of moustache twirling supervillain in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you don't like that, but that is why I like it.
You're going against me. That was the kind of book where I was very excited to read it because I read it before the movie came out.
Yeah.
I actually bought it because of the movie
Same.
announcement, and after 20 pages, I knew that that's going to be the twist that she set up the whole thing.
That probably killed the whole thing because I had no idea. I didn't know anything about this book, and I enjoyed the back and forth between him kind of feeling a bit crazy and the fact that he kind of was instinctively kind of guilty in other ways that kind of go. I find this charming, but he's also he's really fucking himself here. So I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what happened to it. I think I went through all of the stages that she and Gillian Flynn intended for the reader to go through as they read it.
Yeah, that didn't happen
clearly
for me.
Didn't happen to you.
I called it at the beginning. I was like, "Yep, it's gonna be the woman." I just know it. And then I got to the part where it's like it's real that she's alive and everything, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "No."
I like the fact that within the narrative she goes through and she does actually hit a period where things start going actively wrong for her because she can't plan for actually everything, and then she ends up in.
That was the stupid part. I was like, the fuck? Like, finally, something is not going her way, but still, it's gonna go her way. And the FBI at the end, they're not gonna question her. They're just gonna simply believe her. And I'm like, no.
But it's like the whole kind of point. There is a wider point to the kind of perception of women as victim. Like it's like kind of that thing of like, we interpret this woman as being a victim just because she is a woman and she was gone for a while, and therefore they're not going to ask questions. It's like it's making a comment about that kind of thing.
But then, okay. But if now you look at it...
sure, it doesn't make sense in the real life. It shouldn't happen that way. Sorry, something's like it's like...
Do you have a ghost? I've been watching ghost videos, so I'm freaked out at every noise. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think my brother next door just put like his bass against the wall or something.
Jeez, my heart.
I was like, what I thought was I thought the green screen was going to fall over. I thought something had happened. I was like, are you okay?
But both of us went like, fuck. And I was the one. I literally just a little, put it there. It's. I've been watching top 5 ghost videos, like real ghosts go to camera, and I'm like, I'm slowly freaking out. I'm slowly freaking out. It's just like noises and everything, and I'm like, we have a ghost. We have a ghost. No, we probably don't, but we have a ghost.
My brother is not a ghost.
No. But you were surprised as well. I saw it. You were like,
"Oh!" Expecting you to, but honestly, I swear, I thought the green screen was going to fall over. That was what the issue was. I was like, it's not I've broken something, have I?
Oh well. Yes, back to Gungle. Yeah.
That's basically my main point. I think it doesn't make any sense, and it's meant to be campy and like it's not realistic in a certain way.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm one of those people that are like, that was one of the first movies where I gave 1 star on IMDb. I was like, nope, fuck you. I was so frustrated with that movie. I was like, no. And the reason I am frustrated with it is actually what you just said, because that was my first instinct as well, especially when I read the books that, she's a woman, she's a victim, so, obviously we could believe her, blah, 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 blah. But then, you watch TV shows, because that's the first thing that pops into mind is the TV show Unbelievable on Netflix.
I haven't watched that yet. But I have heard good things.
yes, it's excellent. It's a really well done TV show, but it actually shows that a lot of times, and it's
Oh, sure. I know exactly what you're going for here. Yeah.
yes, a lot of times they are just not believing women when they say that they whatever, really. And that one is actually about rape and things like that. But with Amy Dunn, it was a different sort of thing. But I was just like, at the end, I remember even reading the book, I was praying that Ben Affleck would do it in another way, like give it another ending, because I hated the ending so much. I was
My
like,
mum hates the ending as well. She was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "She wins. She always wins." She's like, "But that's stupid."
no, that's stupid. I agree with your mom. I feel like that's the stupidest thing that you can conclude this whole story to. I'm like, no, it's just doesn't make any sense. Like, not even the police or the FBI makes any sense in there. I'm like, don't try to push this down my throat. I'm like, nope.
I'm fully aware that I'm never going to be able to bring you onto my side for
No.
this, and I'm fine with that. But I just think that Rosamund Pike gives a fucking amazing performance in that.
Oh, she was amazing.
She's incredible.
She was awesome. Like, I really appreciated her performance. I'm not going to say she wasn't good or that Ben Affleck wasn't good, because obviously the actors and how he was put together, I appreciated that, because,
You just can't get on board with the actual narrative itself.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, fair.
No. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh, well.
It do be like that.
Yes, we agree that we disagree on this one, but
Yeah.
it happens. It happens.
I'm kind of looking at other villains in here. You've got like classics. The first one that comes up apparently is Hannibal Lecter, which understandable considering.
Yeah.
I watched Silence of the Lambs a little while ago now, and Anthony Hopkins gives such the most incredible performance in that film, because he's only in it for like 30 minutes, like total.
Yeah,
Maybe
something
less
like
than
that.
that.
Maybe less. Yeah.
But like you feel him throughout the
Yeah.
entire film, like
Under your skin.
He feels like he's in it way more than he is, and you're just sort of like, what the fuck?
He gets under your skin.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's an incredible performance, and Hannibal Lecter is one of those like all-time great sort of terrifying villains. Obviously, Mads Mikkelsen's version of him also very good in Hannibal.
Yes, I agree. Even though I only watched like a few episodes, but like
I
Madison was
loved
great.
Hannibal. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it was I think it was one of the first shows that was on network television and was kind of doing something like stylistically interesting, because what in network television, like they have to pump out 22. They were having to pump out 22 episodes, so production time was so short, so you couldn't really do anything interesting with a camera. It was like get in, film the thing as easily as possible, and then get out, because you have 9 days to put together a production.
Yeah.
Hannibal was actually visually incredibly interesting. It was doing stuff. It had like incredible cinematography. The coloring was gorgeous, and the production design is incredible. Just thinking about all of the really gruesome, like dead bodies, but like the ingenuity behind them, and the way that they were kind of created, and oh my god, it's so good. And obviously just Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy.
Oh god.
Just what a great. Such like that. Yeah, I have to go back. I started rewatching it recently, and then I kind of veered off and started watching other things as well. But it's a very, very good show.
I might get into it.
It deserved the full season that people are so desperately trying to get it. It needs like a one more sort of wrap up thing, because the third season ended on this kind of cliffhanger, which was kind of beautiful in its own way as an ending, but kind of want to see more.
Fair enough. It happens especially with TV shows where you're like, please just bring it back, just close it down, do something.
I know, me with Graceland, I'm like, I just want one more season. Just one more. Yeah, that's never going to happen. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Same with The Hour.
Probably not, Katie.
Never going to happen. Nice. But I'm just like, you needed an ending. An ending.
So many things that I was actually very glad when Netflix listened to us and they made that 2-hour movie, or just 2 big episodes for Sense8. But I think it was like movie. Yeah, there you go. And I was like, yep,
The thing with that
Let-
was that watching it was like, I can see an entire season's worth of content shoved into 2 hours, which means it
Yeah.
wasn't as good as it could have been, because it
Yeah.
should have been a whole other season.
Yeah.
But,
It was one of their most expensive shows, so...
oh
you
yeah,
know.
I mean, they were literally filming everywhere, so cost viewership
What an amazing
didn't
show
really
it was.
quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what else is on here. My mother pointed out that Cruella de Vil is kind of the worst villain ever because, I mean, her name is literally the devil, and also she tries to murder puppies.
Yeah.
So that one's for you, Mum.
Your mum is probably right.
Yeah. It was just because I was literally like, I'm going to go record now. She goes, what are you doing? He's like, we're talking about villains? She goes, well, Cruella de Vil. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, I have a while you are looking at that list, I have an unpopular opinion, and I don't know. Have you seen Saving Private Ryan? Is that something that you watched?
No, I haven't watched. Like I've seen it. I've only seen bits of Saving Private Ryan. I haven't seen the whole thing.
So there's an unintentional villain in there for me, because I am sure that Spielberg would never say that he's a villain, and I see the other side of that discussion, but I just hated that character so much because many of the deaths is because of him.
Right.
He's often, and he's basically someone who they have to take with themselves because he can translate for them.
Right.
And he doesn't have any experience with battle and nothing like that because
Sure.
he's literally just handling paperwork and things like that on the field. Because of that, he's just scared of everything. And one of the most heartbreaking deaths is happening because of him. And then the second one also happening because of him, because he wasn't brave enough to do his job and what was told to him.
Right.
And then, of course, he's one of the only ones from the original team who survives. And he acts like he did everything right. And I'm like, I just fucking hate you. I just hate you so much. You're the real villain.
Actually, thinking of like, I don't know if he technically was like a villain, but it's a character I absolutely hated, and it was
Okay.
it was Shane in The Walking Dead. I loathed the guy.
No!
I actually loathed the guy. I was
No!
thrilled when he died.
How can you say that? No.
He's awful.
I love... No.
He's
I like
awful.
Shane. I like Shane.
It's like just a bad dude. Like, awful. He treats... I know you don't like her, but she treats Laurie awfully.
Because Laurie is awful. I'm sorry, I hated her. I was like,
But he was like violent with her, which is the way which is why I was like not. I was like, I don't like anything. I don't like the way he was. I just did not like the guy. I didn't like how like sort of macho and overprotective he was about it. Like that kind of like, oh, I'm a good guy because I'm protecting everybody, but it's, oh fuck, I just hated the guy. I was just hated him so much. It's just...
But he's played by John Bernthal.
Okay, here's the thing. That was the thing, though. I hadn't seen John Bernthal in anything else up until at that point. So
that was your first experience.
That was my first experience with John Bernthal. So I had no like for him going in. So the character is just the character for me, and I was like, I hate this guy. I actually really do not like this guy.
Shane is kind of awful, I know, but it's John, so I like John.
But it meant that I had this sort of bias towards John Bernthal for a while until I started watching him in other things, and obviously I'm like,
yeah,
he's great in other things. I mean, I never thought he was bad in this. I just didn't like the character at all.
Fair. Fair deal. I would say that in The Walking Dead, Michael Rourke's character, who was Darius' brother, Mariel? It was Mariel, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Mer.
Yes, there you go. I liked how they changed him once he comes back. Like, I always appreciated that he's clearly an asshole and an idiot, but I loved how he would have done anything for his brother. I liked that storyline in there. And I was pretty sad when he went. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The other ones on this list are a lot of like, they're really sort of, well, for one thing, they're pretty much all men. That's the big one that I'm noticing, and none of them are from anywhere close to the past decade.
Oh.
So the one closest to now is from 2001, and it's Denzel Washington in Training Day as
Oh.
Detective
That's a
Alonzo
good
Harris.
one. Yes.
But everything else in here is from like 80s, 90s, far back as the 50s, really, 40s. Which I find to be very interesting. We've got actually 30s. One of the ones on here is the Evil Queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
There you go.
Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey is on here. Obviously, the alien
Oh.
from Alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy Bates in Misery. That's on here.
Oh my god, yes, that's a good one. That's actually a good one. I really like Kate Blanchett as Hela in Thor Ragnarok. I think she's was an
great.
excellent film. She's great.
You could
If we're looking at women,
count Loki as like a villain, but like
in a way,
yeah,
yeah.
he's not a bad guy. I love Loki.
No, yeah, I wouldn't say that Loki is a bad guy.
Well,
He's,
then you
know.
get into the interesting question of like, does villain equal bad guy, or is it just like antagonist to protagonist? You know?
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of villains that you absolutely adore, and then there are ones that like I actively hate you.
Hate you, yeah. I think for in order to talk about villains, they don't have to equal being bad guys. I would say that, like, I can bring up villains like Cersei Lannister. She's a bitch, and everyone hates her. And
And I can't believe
she's a villain.
that what's his face went back to her at the end.
Yeah. We're not talking about season 8. That doesn't exist. Katie,
A show I only watched one season of, and yet I still.
Yep, it was all over everywhere. But season 8 just doesn't exist. And then we can look at someone like Loki, who is also counts as a villain in a way. Let's be fair.
Yep.
But he's not the same bad guy as Cersei Lannister. He's a different breed where you're like, I can see the good in you, my dear. I can see it still there.
Well, okay. Here's the next question then. What do you think counts as a good villain? Do you want your villains to be sort of somebody that you can emotionally connect with, that you can find interesting and like actually like on a kind of, even though they are an antagonist, or do you want your villains to be like that kind of terrible person and you're like you just do bad things and that is why I enjoy what you are, that kind of thing?
I appreciate villains more when there's more to them. Like, just like we talked about it now, like there's a lot more to Darth Vader than meets the eye first. There's a lot more to Loki. There's a lot more to even the Joker as well. So many more things. I don't like villains where they just like evil for the sake of being evil. I think that's a little bit of a lazy writing for me. Like it's like even Cersei Lannister, she was still someone who was like, a fucking bitch, but then at the same time she would have done everything for her children. That was her layer in there. But like fucking Joffrey, who was just evil for the sake of being evil. But he was still a very well written evil. Like let's just put that out there, that he was very, very well written. And you could be like, I
was thinking about how I would actually like to see more like sort of, I don't want to say cartoonish villains, but like villains that are actively villainous, I'd like to see because there is something great about being able to get a villain who has a lot of things that you can emotionally relate to and like empathize with, and kind of be like, oh, I understand where you're coming from here, and like this is just you on the other side of an issue that you have with your protagonist. But I also do like, and I mean this, like when it's done well, like a fun villain who is kind of evil because they just want to fuck some shit up. They're like, no, I have no greater moral purpose here. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I would like to see like another one. I'd like to see some more villains like that. Just like, I just can. I actively don't give a shit about what it is you're trying to do, and I just got some stuff that I want to do because I want to do it. Like some really selfish kind of fun villains in that kind of sense.
Yeah. I think Heath Ledger's Joker
Has that
is
kind of,
like,
yes.
yeah. I would say that he definitely has that in there.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about any of that. He's
Just
just
gonna fuck
doing
some
it
shit
for,
up.
yeah, just because why not? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say that I could live with something like that, like a villain like that. I like that. I actually like that. I like villains like Thanos. I really like Thanos because
Thanos is interesting.
he's, yes, as you said, he's an interesting villain because he's not clearly evil, and actually what he says is like, it makes you think like,
Yeah, but it's like,
Y-
ends do not justify the means. That's the
yes,
big thing when
that's,
it comes to.
I know, obviously, but it still makes you think. I think what I love most in Hawkins' Joker is that I actually felt uncomfortable at some points because a lot of the things that's happening to him in there, like feeling alone, being lonely, and how it can fuck up your mind. It was something, especially at the time when I watched it, and I had those same feelings. I felt like I was irrelevant and things like that. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, am I going to become the next Joker at one point? The fuck. It's and it was a really good showcase of how society can actually fuck you up very, very badly. I love that movie. I appreciated the message in there.
I liked the movie. I found it to be interesting, and unpacking it was fun. But I also feel like people put a lot of emphasis on like it's like, oh, it's got this really deep message about like mental health and how society treats people. I'm like, it really doesn't. This movie says nothing. It has no deep meaning in it. It's just presenting a narrative to you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that it's just sort of like, this is just some stuff that's happening. But I don't like the way that people were acting like it was some kind of big moral lesson. I'm like, no, it really wasn't.
No.
Like I think it, almost to its detriment at times, didn't have a message about it. Where I was kind of like, this movie really isn't saying anything.
It was literally
like,
just
if you wanted it to be that way, I would absolutely be on board with being like, this is what it is. This is just. I think when you start reading that movie as like something more than just an origin story for a supervillain, you're ruined. You're not gonna get anything else out of it. As an origin story for the Joker, it is fun. Well, it's not actually fun. It's actually a very depressing movie. But it's a kind of you can get enjoyment out of the performance that Joaquin Phoenix gives and all that sort of stuff. But if you try to do it and pull anything like deeper or like analysis wise out of it, I feel like you're just going to come up short. It's a very surface level movie, which I think at times thinks it's deeper than it is. That's what I'll say about it.
I think the way I could connect with it is something that other people might have felt as well, because it hits a few things like right in that. It's like,
I don't know if that is a plus for the movie or just a plus for your ability to emotionally connect to a film.
Yeah. I think it's more like that, and it's for me it really is. It was just a showcase of how Joker is, because you cannot trust anything, because he tells the story basically, and you cannot trust anything he says.
He's kind of the definition of unreliable narrator.
Yep, exactly. And I think what this movie does excellently is showing that side of the Joker very, very well, because you simply cannot trust it. Like, it's like, it might be true, it might not be. If I just look back at The Dark Knight again, is how Heath Ledger's Joker tells the story of how he got the scars. It's always different. No matter, like, if he talks to a different person, it's going to be a different story. And, I think they built up on that, and it worked really well for the movie. And let's be honest, Hawking was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
He was
I am
fucking
not
awesome.
entirely, like, it did not surprise me that he won. The Oscar.
No.
He was very good in it. Even
very, very good.
Taking out all of the stuff around the movie, like his performance was very, very incredible.
Very, very good. Yeah.
But if you do want to see a very good movie with him in, which I think is a much better look at, like an actual deeper look at, and I think you've seen this, but I'm more talking to our audience, at the sort of things that the movie vaguely goes into. You Were Never Really Here is fucking
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
And I would recommend it to everybody. It's a hard watch, but it's not particularly long, and he is also stunning in it.
Oh,
Um,
he's very good in it.
yeah,
He was nominated for that one as well, I think, if I remember
I don't
correctly.
think that movie got any of the attention that it deserved.
No?
No, I don't think
For
it
some
did.
reason, it just comes to me
It
as,
might
as
have
someone who
might
can...
have gotten like some attention at like Indie Spirit Awards or something along those lines.
Maybe,
but,
yeah.
It deserved way more attention than it got, because I mean it's by the same director who did need to talk about Kevin, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, which is bugging me. But oh my god, it is genuine. That is an incredible movie, and I think everything that people want to get out of Joker, they could very easily get out of You Were Never Really Here.
Yeah. It was... I will get to you.
Because the name Lynn Ramsey's coming to mind, but I don't.
Lynn Ramsey.
It is
Yeah.
Lynn Ramsey. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
There was a director who died recently. Her last name was Shelton, and I think that was who I was thinking of initially, and I was getting them kind of conflated in my head. Yeah. I'm going to talk
happened.
about one more, and it's to do with this show, because it's here, and I was kind of thinking about it. Anne Dowd plays a character in The Leftovers. Her name is Patty. And she got nominated for a couple of Emmys for it. She never won any of them. I'm really annoyed about it. Basically, the fact that The Leftovers didn't get any of the recognition it deserved. Carrie Coon deserved an Emmy for her performance in it, but like Anne Dowd's character Patty is terrifying, and she's so good. She is so good. I mean, she kind of leads the cult within the show that's known as the Guilty Remnant, and she does so much saying nothing. And then when she does occasionally speak, it's like... She's terrifying in places. And then, I won't talk too much about it, but she does pop up in season 2. And the way she does pop up in season 2, oh my god. I just think she's incredible. And I think a lot of the terrifying aspects of her in that show probably come out in her character in The Handmaid's Tale, which I know is also just absolutely terrifying. I think she won, that was the thing she actually won an Emmy for, or has been nominated for multiple Emmys for, is her performance in The Handmaid's Tale. And if it's anywhere close to what she's like as Patty in Leftovers, I'm like, okay. This should be interesting. Yeah.
Fair.
God,
If I have to say one female villain, I am sticking with Cersei.
I think that's fair.
I mean, for me, I fucking hated her, and that was the point. That was the whole point. Because at one point, I was actually feeling sorry for her, which was like very conflicting. I was like, I shouldn't. What are you doing? I shouldn't feel sorry for her. What the fuck? But it quickly ran away because then she did something awful, and then I was like, yep, okay, it's back.
Yeah.
I still hate her. That's fine.
I appreciate a character like an actor who you can kind of go like, I actively hate you, but I know you as a person are very like nice.
Yes.
So the fact that you can make me forget that is very good.
No, indeed. He's
not technically a villain, but I think of him as a villain. If I'm going to bring up all the shows that I put on my list, in Graceland, there's a character called Paul Briggs who is meant to be kind of like the leader of their team, if you like. But I fucking hated the guy. And it's the reason I wanted to see season 2, because he's like kind of this narrative foil for Mike, who's Aaron Tveit character. In that they're very similar in a lot of ways. They kind of came like top of the class in the FBI, and they were very by the book, and then something happened to Briggs, and he became this sort of like he just had this habit within the show of coming up with plans of like, and then not telling anybody what the plan was, and then getting annoyed at people when they did something that screwed up his plan. And I was like, I cannot. The last season kind of made it look like they were going to try and get him arrested or like charge him with something because he just was actively doing a bunch of shit that wasn't legal. And I was like, but that was what I wanted out of season 4. I wanted Mike Warren going after Paul Briggs. All I wanted. Anytime, there was a couple of times in the show where Mike punched Paul in the face, and they were the best moments. I was so thrilled every time it happened.
Fair
But
enough.
the thing about it was that he was an excellent character. He was so complicated,
Yeah.
I liked hating him. That was the thing about it. And I don't know if he was like really like a villain, but he was definitely antagonistic in a lot of ways, and there was a lot to dislike about him, but also to appreciate about, you know, the complexity of who he was and why he was the way he was and all that sort of stuff. But yeah,
Fair.
I really wanted Mike to punch him in the face a couple more times and then throw him in jail. And I'm never going to be able to see that, which is a shame.
I would say that one more, last one. The Green Mile. It has Sam Rockwell's Billy, who's a motherfucker, like a real motherfucker, and he's really evil for the sake of being evil. But the other villain in there, who's like more of the comic villain in a way, is fucking Percy, who you just want to punch in the dick all the time he shows up.
He's
like,
a great bad guy name. Percy, it's like you could just Percy.
Oh my god, he gets served at the end, and you will never feel as satisfied as you feel at that moment. You're like, yes. So I highly recommend you watch that movie as soon as you can, because it's honestly there. It's like at the end, it's like, oh fuck, it's oh my god. So yeah, fuck you, Percy. I still fucking hate you to this day. And you got what you deserved, bitch. And yeah,
okay.
that's my honorable mention. Fucking Percy.
Yeah, I think that's a relatively decent haul of bad guys. I can't really see any other ones on here that I would actively want to talk about more.
I think we mentioned everyone we wanted.
Oh, yeah.
At least I definitely did.
They're all the ones that I have any kind of real emotional investment in anyway, or a reaction to, I guess is probably a better word.
Yeah, I think we are on a fair playground. And
actually, there's one more here that I did find very funny. It was the fact that at number 20 on this list is Man from Bambi, and it is the man who killed Bambi's mother.
Bambi's mum? Oh my god.
Number 20.
What kind of list is that?
I don't know what it's based on, actually. It's on Wikipedia. It's AFI's 100 Years of 100 Villains and Heroes. This was from 2003. This explains why there's less people on this list than I thought there would be. But yeah, that makes way more sense now. But it really cracked me up that it's just Man, and it says NA, character is off-screen only. But he's hated that much that he made it to number 20.
I mean, he kills Bambi's mom, so fair point. He's a villain. We will count him as a villain.
Oh, he's definitely a villain. I just like how much of a villain.
Oh, yes.
He is.
Yes. Fair deal. And guess what? We only stepped over an hour mark with 9 minutes.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
That's how you know
well
we're
done.
doing it.
Well done, us. So yeah, and then I don't know. I think we talked enough about villains before we become one as well. And then we will get back to it next week. We don't know what's going to be the topic yet because we still have to figure it out.
Nope.
But it's going to be a good one. We might have a guest. I don't know. It's still, come on, it's the new year. We are still organizing stuff, so don't expect much.
It is the 4th of January.
Yes.
Currently,
yeah. So, but we will get there. You're going to get good stuff and be happy.
You might.
I hit my ring light. Oh my god.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. The same things that we always say still apply. Stay safe. Still wash your hands. Yeah.
Please stay home.
And wear your masks. And
if you do have to leave the house, wear your mask. All of the
very
above.
true. And we love you and thank you for keep on supporting us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.